Now, around the country, young people are leaving home, of course, for the first time, bound for university or college. And I remember when my daughter Karen went to university in Bristol, the very first week she was there, she rang up home to say, how would I cook a chicken? So I said to her, well, how many are you cooking for? And she said, about 14. Well, 1 chicken and 14, that made me worry a lot about how she was ever going to survive uni, but she did. So in today's Kitchen Clinic, we're offering a tutorial on cooking easy meals, but healthy, or as healthy as we can. So here to explain all is class Swat Anne Stark and the class clown that is Paul Bloxham. So welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Terrible too.
Yeah.
I was trying to imagine the pair of you rowing across the Atlantic.
Oh,
the division of chores.
I just say now it takes me all my time to get on a pedalo, Gloria, never mind rowing across the Atlantic.
Can't even swim, never mind row the Atlantic.
Who'd be rowing? Me. I know that.
Exactly, I know.
It's been practising in the green room, haven't you, Paul?
Yes.
All right, we're going to look at the larder first of all. Those sort of basics that any student would need to get on the cupboard.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And it's a good thing to start. I mean, this is the sort of thing that, you know, you can either all club together, or if mums and dads, you know, can get together a store cupboard. A parcel, a food parcel, yeah. And we've just put together some basics, really, 4 little groups. Starting with these, I mean, you might think they're quite obvious, but I mean, they're really good to have. Things like rice, pasta, couscous, lentils. Not only are they really good sources of carbohydrate, energy giving, you know, because, I mean, students are out all night, so...
You would know.
I remember it well. But they're also great sources of protein as well.
Absolutely, and you know, you need all of those, you know, Japanese noodles and things. But the other stuff is the tin stuff. Now, you know, what you can do with tins of soups and things like that is amazing.
And we have a competition coming up for loads and loads of tins. Yeah.
And baked beans. I think like tuna and sweet corn, you know, a jacket potato. Still have them now, you know, if I want a quick snack, you know, some energy, tuna, sweet corn, that sort of thing. So tin soups and tin tomatoes, a corned beef, a real staple for the cupboard.
Corned beef hash, that's a good one, isn't it? For student cooking.
Now all the flavourings?
And the flavourings, yeah. I mean, good staples, you know, stock cubes. Don't bother buying all the expensive versions. Stock cubes are fine. And herbs and spices are really good. You don't need to have lots of them, but just mixed herbs, a bit of parsley. And spices as well are really good to having.
And then you have all your sauces there.
And then your sauces, tomato sauce, Worcestershire sauce, you know what I mean.
Bit of honey, all of that. OK, so who's going to cook first then?
Well, I thought I'd do this. This is my kind of all-purpose, multifaceted.
What does she mean, a bit of everything in this one?
A bit of everything, yeah. It all goes.
So this is actually going to make 3 different meals?
Yeah, well, you can actually make 4 out of it, Gloria. It's growing all the time. But it's a good basic thing. You don't even really need a recipe. But basically, start again with onions and garlic. I mean, those good old staples. And if you've got, I mean, most university cities have a good market near them where you can really pick up fruit and veg.
It's a good tip.
Quite cheap.
For next to nothing, can't you? Yeah. And especially if you go at the right time of the day, the market traders, you know, most
choose your time, in other words.
Yeah, I mean, imagine him with a bit of lip, can't you?
I know, she around the supermarkets on Sunday afternoons at 4:30 for the bargains.
Listens for the tannoy to say, I know, the bread is reduced on counters, that sort of thing, So anyway, you're going to make like a bolognese sauce
It's like a bolognese sauce. And what I've done is we've got some meat here. Now, this is where I wouldn't cook corners, Gloria, because I think we're using minced beef, but there's minced beef and minced beef. Try and go for one that has a good proportion of real meat in, not fat, because at the end of the day, you want to keep healthy. You know, living life to the full. We hope, and you want to keep healthy.
Now you're putting in dry lentils.
Now I would put. Now these are just red lentils. You don't need to soak them or anything. Keep them in your store cupboard, and you can actually reduce the amount of meat to keep it cheap with.
Is that why you put the lentils in? It gives it a nice bulk.
Gives it a nice bulk, thickens it up, but it's also lentils are a really good source of protein as well.
And it's a good texture thing as well, isn't it?
It is a good texture thing, yeah. So carrots in, again, really cheap, very nutritious ingredient. Tomato puree, it's something you'd always have in the cupboard.
And you put in, what, a couple of tins of tomatoes earlier?
Yeah, 1 tin of tomatoes, actually, and you can buy multi-packs of those and split them up. Mushrooms, you don't have to put those in, but again,
I think they're the magic ingredient. Yeah. I would never make a bolognese sauce without mushrooms.
Yeah,
absolutely.
She said as if she knew anything about anything.
Some mixed herbs, a bit of Worcester sauce, that's something that's always in the cupboard, so that's really good. Some stock, if you've got some red wine left over, she says, knowing that will never happen.
Student having red wine left over.
In a million years. Just cook all that down, and this is what the final result looks like. You can see how it's thickened up. It's a really good, nutritious
And the lentils thicken it up, don't they? All the starch in there.
It's really thick and lovely. Yeah. And you can also make a chilli, put it on rice, and also use it as base for lasagna as well.
So with your chilli, you just take, that basic sauce and add some chilli powder to it and
add
beans.
Some chilli powder,
Kidney
some beans and then put it on a bed of rice. And then you layer it up, this mixture, this basic sauce mixture, with some lasagna. And you've got 3
what's your middle
different
one?
meals. That's the other one that I'm going to do at the end. I'm going to do a paella.
I was way ahead of myself.
Right.
OK, Paul. Now I didn't think this sounded all that healthy, I have to say, with using cola. But
I'll give you a couple of options of this.
I've never heard of cola being used.
Cola is used
sauces.
a lot in the USA. Absolutely, it's great for barbecuing food. You reduce it down with some onions. It makes a great little basting thing for the barbecue.
Had you ever heard of that, Anne?
Do you know, I hadn't at all. No, I've heard of cola being used for cleaning the loo.
Oh, goodness me.
You might as well do stomachs like then, I know.
Well, I'm going to do cola pork.
Okay.
This one with a pork chop. And I've just got some cheap pork chops. You can use pork loin chops.
This is economic, I must say.
Absolutely.
Using pork
and you can get the big value packs out there. I'm just using 4 of these, and this is a really, really simple dish. And I'm using really the methods of slow cookery for this one. So I've got a nice casserole. So if you're thinking about buying a gift for anybody, buy them a casserole or a slow cooker.
So far you've got a complete store cupboard and a casserole.
And a casserole. And you're laughing. And what you're going to do with that is just take an onion, sprinkle that on the top like so. I mean, how simple is it? But believe me, this is really stunning. Now, I'm using tomato ketchup, but you could use a can of tomatoes with salt and pepper. But I like the way the tomato ketchup. So that's a cup of tomato ketchup. We'll get rid of it in a minute. And a good slug of cola. Just your favourite cola.
That is so funny. And does it caramelise it, or what does it taste like?
I'm going to bring out... It's a lovely, sweet, caramelised flavour. And all you're going to do with that...
Any seasoning, salt, pepper,
yeah, a little bit of salt and pepper in there, but I just put a little bit in to start with and then finish it at the end. That goes in the oven.
OK.
Clever,
that was easy.
Very clever.
OK, 2 hours...
I might try this tonight myself.
2 hours at 180 degrees.
Oh.
It caramelises up. A lovely gravy. I mean, you can smell that. That's really quite nice. And what I do with this...
It's almost like a little crunchy...
A little crunchy top. A good bit of mashed potatoes. This is always a good staple. I mean, this is real earthy food. Let me just borrow that. Let me get one of those out.
You find the parents going to the students for dinner like this?
Exactly. I mean, look
Invite me round. That looks really lovely.
A lovely bit of juice. You know, have a bit of chopped parsley around, I say, because it...
I think our audience, I hear them...
How about that?
They're going to have
easy dish.
Yeah, that's very good.
Good.
OK.
Very good.
It doesn't come much more simple than that.
No.
OK, and next one.
No, he's been having pot shots at all my ingredients here, saying, look at me, I've only got 4 ingredients, and look at all those. You're having a really posh dinner party.
Exactly.
Make them work, Anne.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is just... I mean, a lot of students are veggie or, you know, decide to go veggie at certain points. And this is just
usually to do with cheapness, I would have thought.
Well, I think so, yeah.
Economics.
It is, really. So, again, a little bit of oil in the pan and onion. You can put some garlic in as well to start that. And then we've just got a lovely selection of different ingredients here to go in. We've got some carrot and some diced pepper. Again, you can pick up these things really cheaply from the market.
Actually, it is interesting that, you know, young people can be at home, eat meat all their lives, and yet as soon as they go to university, they become vegetarian. I mean, I suppose the influence of the morality or just the taste of not eating meat, but also I think it is the economics.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Don't you agree? You know, they just can't afford meat.
Well, of course. I mean, and vegetarian food is really good for you. I mean, I eat once or twice a week vegetarian food, you know. I love vegetables.
Well, so do I. And, you know, if I'm, you know, having lunch, I would go for a vegetarian alternative rather than the meat because it's nice and light as well.
One of the first things my mum taught me was an egg curry. I mean, that's economical.
Oh, yes, that is,
and it was fantastic.
Yeah, and I
really
still like egg curry.
Yeah.
What have you just put in there, Anne?
So, there's a bit of turmeric for colouring. Now, this is the paella. Normally, it would be very expensive with meat and with fish in it. And this is all it is. We've used peas instead of aubergines. We'll put the rice in there, and basically, you can just fling everything into the pan and cook it away. And this is it. This is what it looks like. I mean, it's a really lovely... It's catching a bit on the bottom there. But the colour is lovely. The turmeric's giving it a beautiful colour. The peas are sort of giving it a bit of a zing. And it really is a great one-pot meal. You could stick the pan on in the middle of the table and everybody just dives in.
I could do flamenco to that.
Go on, let's do it.
So now we've got another gift of another casserole.
Another casserole. Well, if you have 2. This is another goodie. And this is chicken in a bag.
OK, in a bag.
With rice. Absolutely. Very simple again. It's store-covered ingredients. Now, I've got a cup of rice here. So for that, you're going to need 1 can of chicken soup.
Condensed chicken soup.
Condensed chicken soup. Pop him in there like that.
Like so.
OK. Then you need...
Easy so far.
Easy so far. The equivalent of water.
Water.
So you want double the amount of rice. Water to rice. So that's liquid. OK, that's that bit done. What you're going to need then is a plastic bag.
By the way, you've got 30 seconds to do this.
Let's get one of those.
Thank you for the chicken soup all over my face.
Oh, sorry.
Splash, splash.
So, all you're going to take is onion soup mix. I'll do that away for you. Whack that in there.
Onion soup mix in the bag.
Get that in there, rub it in, massage it in. Turn that upside down like that. Put a couple of holes in it. Pop that on top.
You put the bag and everything in?
Everything in like that. All you're going to do then is put that in the oven again, 2 hours, 180 degrees.
OK,
Let me quickly...
Wait for it, everybody. Drum roll. Aha.
Let me just
Remember not to eat the bag.
Open the bag.
With my luck, part of the bag would remain.
If you can smell
Actually, that looks really good.
You've got a complete meal in there for absolutely everybody.
Meal in a bag.
A meal in a bag. Let me... Have you got a...
What do you want?
A spoon about there
Well,
somewhere?
I'll tell you what. Here's a spoon.
Oh, there's one there.
Here you go.
And let's just get a nice... Oh, I've got it here.
OK.
I can get that out.
Brilliant. Well, listen,
How does
while
that look?
you do... I'm going to let you sort of plate that up because I've got competition news coming up. But that looks pretty good to me. And actually, a good sauce on the rice as well.
A good sauce, mushroom
Lovely.
or chicken
Will
sauce.
you thank for me Anne Stirk and Paul Bloxham? Well done. Record time. Now, we do have a really, really good competition in store for hungry students everywhere today because we're giving 2 of you the chance to win 200 cans each of assorted tinned foods, which they tell me is roughly a year's supply of food, courtesy of Canned Food UK. Now, all you have to do to win your own very own cupboard full of stuff is to answer this very difficult question, I tell you. Here's the question. What was Popeye's favourite tinned food? Was it A, Spam? Was it B, spinach? Or was it C, spaghetti? Well, if you think you know the answer, even have an idea of what it is, call our competition hotline on 0900 111 4411 to get dialling, and the very best of luck. Now, for further details of the competition and any of the recipes, any of the details on the show, well, you can swat up on our website at www.5.tv/openhouse.